I had a student come to class, typical stepping out of the Housewives of Atlanta, dressed like that and the attitude. And so I automatically assume, this young woman is not about too much. She was one of the most brilliant students I ever had, and I just sized her up just by looking at her. Then once I really listened to her and got to know her and what she was saying, and what young people are going through today, the trauma. I visited one young girl while I was working at Camden High. She had a whole wall in her bedroom of funeral programs. You know, she had she was in 16 and had over like well over seemed like well over 20 to me because the wall of her friends who had been killed. Yeah, so they have a lot on them. It's a whole new world. A lot of trauma, a lot of drama, a lot of pressure to be. And unfortunately, in this society, as I do this critique of capitalism that won't wait, and that's where you got that quote from, whole thing about capital, the goal is alienation from yourself. So you don't know who you are, and the further you move from yourself, then you can do anything to anybody else. Just 2 weeks ago in Chicago, this young man stomped this young girl to death. And the first thing came to my mind, of course, I felt so bad for the girl. What happened to him? What happened to him? What did somebody do to him for him to do that to somebody else? You know? So I think these are the questions we have to start asking our young people. What happened to you? And walk them through that and kind of bring them to a healing. And I think that too would bridge the gap. But I really do. I try to really listen to young people, just listen and watch and just really be empathetic.
You touched on it prior, but I'd like you to elaborate more. How does learning about one's identity impact a person on a deeper level, even a cellular level?
Mhm. I don't know how you can navigate through the world and with other people if you don't have any concept of who you are. And unfortunately, most of the stereotypes of Black people are still out there, the criminalization of the race, yeah. And oh, Black women, don't forget about it. No one likes a Black woman, not even Black women, the stereotype of us being argumentative and negative, and so I can't answer that. I don't know.
Have you observed this? Like, I observed this while teaching, right? And
Uh-huh.
you observed this. Some Black people replicate what they think Black people should behave like. It's like they take the worst qualities, like they'll watch the show, and they're not like that. They're really not like that.
Yeah, right.
But they think the expectation is for them to act like that. So it's kind of tricky when you see people behaving a certain way. It's like they're putting on an act, but unfortunately, they're replicating the behaviors that's not the highest form of the culture. They feel pressured to act in a certain way because they feel like this is what it is to be Black.
We really see that on a global level, you know. It seems like, well, number one, racism is global. There's nowhere you can go where you don't deal with racism. So therefore, everywhere you have Black people, you have this level of inferiority. That's different based on where you are. But it really seems to me that Black people throughout the diaspora, throughout Africa and the African diaspora, they take the very worst of Black Americans.